Hi, I'm Rowena and this is my channel, A Fuller World. Me, my husband and a couple of friends have spent the last few weeks exploring the lochs, hills and glaciers of Scotland and Iceland, and we're slowly making our way south towards some much needed European sun. We hope you continue to join us on our adventures. So we are officially at the last stop of our trip. We are here in Athens and I've brought the guys down to join me on my morning run. The reason being we've come down to a really special place. So we've come down to the Panathenaic Stadium and there's been a stadium here since the 6th century, but they uncovered it and restored it in the late 1800s. And then this is what was used for the very first modern Olympics in 1896. So it's a pretty special place for a run. Unfortunately, the track is actually closed. However, because we're here nice and early and there's no one else here, we can at least run the footpath around the track. So Tam and I are going to go for a little bit of a run and enjoy the stadium.
Today we've got Rowena on our right. She's our full-time half marathon runner. And on the left we've got Tamara, who is wearing purple.
So I believe this is the only stadium in the world completely made of marble. And I can tell you marble is not the funnest running material. It's not very kind on my legs here.
Oh, I'm just gonna jog. Jesus! I think I lost.
On your mark, get set, go!
So they also have a little museum here that has a little bit of memorabilia and information about the Olympic Games and marathonist event. But they've got some really cool old posters from the Olympics stretching back to kind of like 1900. They've got the Olympic torches stored here. Yeah, so nifty little end to our nice run this morning.
It's sweeter than I'm used to, but
You can't come to Athens without coming up to the Acropolis. And basically the Acropolis is kind of like their version of a citadel, so it's a whole collection of buildings. Behind me we've got one of the temples, but there's also theatres, medical buildings, but they're all so beautiful. And most of them come from about 400 BC, so they're really well preserved given how old they are. And I'm really excited to walk around and just basically take it all in. Behind me is probably the most famous part of the Acropolis, which is the Parthenon. So it's this beautiful old temple. It's probably one of the ones in the worst state. Apparently it was ruined during a siege in 1687 and they're trying to do some restoration works now. But it's just massive. Sort of, I don't know, just leaves you a little bit in awe still. And then across from me is the old temple of Athena, which still has these beautiful like columns of sort of, I assume, Athena herself, or at least some women holding up the sort of side structures. It's really beautiful. The last structure I'm going to show you from in the Acropolis area is the Odeon of Herodes Atticus, which is actually the first structure we saw walking in. But I just wanted to show it because it's like a full theatre and it's in much better condition than the one from Milos the other day. So you get a bit of an idea of what the structure could have been and what the stage would have been like as well. So yeah, and then we're going to head off to the museum and check out all the stuff that was actually found inside the temples.
Every time.
My sister goes every month.
I do feel like being here is one of those little like pinch me moments. Like you see the Acropolis and the Pantheon like on TV all the time, and I think it just reminds of us of how lucky we are to do this sort of thing and travel around. It's really, really cool to come up here, but definitely come up here early. We've just hit 9 o'clock. We got here at 8 when doors open, and all of a sudden like there are people everywhere. Like you can't move coming in. So I think, yeah, get here very, very early is the tip. So I do actually think it's worth getting a ticket for the museum as well, because it has a lot of really cool things that they found in the destruction of the temples inside. So, you know, pots, plates, like statues, parts of the actual temples themselves. And then the really, really cool thing is that the whole museum is built on this huge excavation site. So underneath the museum itself, and a part of your ticket, is that you can come down and sort of see how this sort of ancient city was sort of set up. And again, it's relatively well preserved compared to some of the ones we've seen. And there's no one else down here weirdly either, so I'm not sure if people realise you can come down here, but it's definitely worth checking it out.
Color that lies within, nothing between you and I.
Alright, so we are ending off our trip hopefully with something special. This is our last day here in Athens, our last day in Greece, and our last day for the trip. So we thought we'd combine what we've loved about Greece, the sea, the sunsets, the food, the history, and we've come about an hour or so outside of Greece to a place called Sounion, where we can see the beautiful Poseidon's temple. It's right behind me, that overlooks the Aegean Sea, and as well as obviously being a really cool archaeological site, it's really, really well known for its sunset. So we're here at the perfect time, and we're going to end our trip with a bang.
Do you right there under my skin? I've been waiting, I've been waiting. There's no fault lines to crack and leave me aching. Thinking on a fault line, it leaves me numb, but it's something that might never come, so I'll be waiting.
Of course, all the temples we saw on the Acropolis this morning were dedicated to Athena, obviously Athens, but this temple is obviously dedicated to Poseidon, the god of the seas and the god of weather. And they think there's been a temple here since sort of 400 BC. It was sacked to the ground by the Persians and they've rebuilt it again in a stronger marble. But there is some wear and tear just because of the sea salts and erosion around here. But I can already tell it's going to be a beautiful spot to watch the sunset. So this is our last night of our holiday. Yeah, it's been a good one. I think exciting, yeah. Just like normal, started hiding, ended hiding. But I think it's been a really good holiday and I'm happy we ended with the sunset in Greece. But yeah, back to Australia tomorrow and back to real life. But yeah, I have to say goodbye to these two.